for some reason the charts change.
Little trade another day.
And tomorrow, I'm the biggest bear out there. So be it.
You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Live to trade another day. Live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Is it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything. Not gonna get upset. Just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future up early, just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Don't be scared, G. Like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah, Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress. Fur and loathing in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes. People hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious. Shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age. Life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared. What an imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all. Hell no.
What's up, everyone? Okay, all right. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. So sorry I was late, guys. Normally we start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I could not help myself because we have today big launch of the XL1 Layer 1 blockchain with the token XL1 token. It is the utility token that is going to be the gas for the new XYO Layer 1 blockchain. So welcome everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Daniel, aka Dano Crypto. And let's make sure we get all of the housekeeping and all the stuff. And just let me apologize again for being late. I know you guys are on the ball anytime. I don't know what happened to my chat. My chat just disappeared. Where did my chat go? Let's see. For some reason, my chat just disappeared, but because I want to be able to see you guys. Okay, I can see you guys. All right, I can see you. Let's go. All right, so basically there's so much to talk about. I sometimes can't even, it's hard for me to pick what I want to talk about because we have the FOMC meeting tomorrow. We have the FOMC meeting. The feds are going to be cutting some rates, cutting the cheese, cutting the rates. We have these Ethereum treasuries being continuing to be increased. We have altcoin Sentiment is really, really strong right now. We have, everything is looking pretty good. So, yeah, we're here to cover it. We're here to talk about it. We hope you guys are having a good day. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Make sure you follow me at 904, Dano Crypto 904. I mean, XYO's following me. So I don't know. I mean, if you're not following me, look, XYO's following me. So we have some pretty bullish accounts that we're very excited to, that they have been following us. We have XYO following us. We got Ivan on Tech following us. All the major bullish accounts in the space. But today, Mario Nafal actually covered the entire launch of the token. They actually had Ari Tro and Marcus Levine on his channel and on a video, and they were talking about everything that has to do with XYO and how it is going to be operating in the next few years for this ecosystem of AI data, location data, geolocation data, and data has always been the topic of discussion and what big companies have put a big focus on, because if you don't have good data, secure data, a way to be able to store it, and also if you're a company that has millions and millions of customers and you have to be able to store their data, how the heck are you going to do it securely so it doesn't get hacked, to make sure it has privacy measures put in place and it's also decentralized? That's really hard to do. So XYO is actually doing all of this together, where it's like, okay, you're getting privacy, you're getting decentralization, you are getting a way to use the network in a lot of different use cases and functionality to be able to operate a node. And so I feel like all this, if you don't get it or you don't understand it, I understand a good bit of it, but there's still stuff in this ecosystem I'm sure I haven't even scratched the surface on. But in my mind, if you're just gonna make it a long story short and just not make it too complicated, you just got to think that this is going to be just trillions of dollars, $1 trillion industry with real world assets. And think about what we've been talking about and what the industry has been gearing up for is tokenizing everything, getting Wall Street and banks and everything on chain, the whole CCIP thing with Chainlink and all that stuff. This is what this is. This is just another aspect and another tip of that iceberg, that underneath it is going to be massive investments in this type of tech. So I've known about XYO for a long time. It's actually one of the first altcoins that I ever found in 2021 when I was doing my own research and kind of figuring out stuff. And it was one of the first applications that I used with the Coin app to actually mine crypto by geolocating with my Coin phone, which was operating as a node. So that's how we actually sent some of our first transactions, was using XYO. So that's why I kind of have a soft spot for it. And hey, maybe one day we'll be working with XYO. Maybe they'll partner up with the channel. We've had that thought and that dream before. Like, hey, I wonder if XYO would ever partner with the channel. But make sure you guys, when you get a chance, after you're watching this live stream, that you watch the XYO video that we just released, and leave a comment on there. Make sure you hit the like button on that video as well. It's very important that you do this because it just helps the algorithm so much. Like, already people are hitting the like button. Let me see if there's some comments. Yes, we got a comment already. So let's go. All right. So yeah, just make sure you watch that. It's going to explain a little bit about XYO, why and why you should pay attention, or at least just have this on your radar. It's like, I'm not, you can buy whatever you want. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to buy. But I think this is just some very interesting tech that everyone's going to start talking about XYO. And I don't want you to feel like, oh, you're jumping on the FOMO. Like, I want you to know and feel like, hey, Dana's been talking about this for a while, for years now. And so if anything, we should have already been looking into it. That's all I gotta say. So make sure you watch this. Make sure you dive in, do your own research, and this will probably just lead you down the rabbit hole of even looking into how companies are investing into secure private data. Because Google and all these big companies have been, and Amazon have been investing billions of dollars into this in the background, in the back end. And what perfect technology would mesh and fit so well with this is crypto, is the Oracle blockchains and all of that stuff. So that's why we're bullish on it. So real quick, let's break down the token. If you want to trade it right now, I believe it's traded on Gate.com. So it's on Gate, it's on KuCoin, Kraken, and you can also trade it DeFi. If you just want to get the actual token address, you can go to CoinMarketCap, you can go to XL1. You will see that the address ends in coffee burps, E66 AED. So AED, E66 AED. That's the contract, the last portions of the contract. So if you want to actually just swap into this token and just hold it on your wallet, you would copy that address and you would use something like, if you want to use Trust Wallet or you want to use Uniswap. I believe right now the pool is set up on Uniswap. So that is the current pool version 4 Ethereum Uniswap pool. So you would you could swap from other tokens, but just if you want to be able to have the lowest slippage, then you would just buy it directly with Ethereum. And if you want zero slippage and you're just going to pay some exchange fees, then you would just buy it spot on something like Kraken, KuCoin, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so here's how the token launch looked. It's how most token launches look. You get that big wick to the upside. You get the sell-off because people who, are obviously going to have, there's going to be potential early allocation. I'm not sure exactly how the tokenomics, if these are correct, but if this is the case, we would want to look at the token unlocks. And right now we have 15% of the token that's untracked, but then we have 84% of the tokens locked, and the allocation is spread according to CoinMarketCap that 38% is community, liquidity, ecosystem, incentives, marketing, and operations, and the investors. So then you have team, advisors, and the contractors have 29%. And then the treasury has 32%. So the treasury has a pretty, good percentage. But ultimately, what I think is going to be important about this token is to track the volume and track how this is going to incorporate with the staking mechanism. So the whole cool thing about what's happening right now is you're going to be able to stake XYO. So there's people that have held XYO for a long time, but then also are staking it to earn rewards. But now you can stake XYO directly on the layer 1. So XYO layer 1 runs a dual token model by separating the structure and the activity. So this is where you can stake XYO on XL1 and you will earn the XL1 token as a reward. And there's probably going to be some other type of incentives where maybe you can then also stake XL1, or there'll be certain pairs. There might be some farming opportunities, maybe some different pools. We'll have to see how that operates. But the thing is you could do that yourself. So if you want to create a dApp where you have like a XL1 XYO treasury pool or something like that, and you can, I'm sure there's probably a way that you could do that. So I think the SDK kit, in terms of if you're like a developer, you want to actually create your own thing inside of this ecosystem, it's totally possible. So it's kind of like open-ended that way. A lot of different use cases. So the token right now is trading kind of back up. It hit that wick up to 0.0028 and wicked right back down. So I would say this is kind of your flat line of, your flat line of entry now that it's TGE volatility. Like I would just guaranteed, it doesn't matter what it is, there's going to be some volatility as some sellers in a token launch day, but this is pretty good. So we'll just have to see how this marinates. This might have to marinate a little bit. I don't see it crashing anywhere below the TGE event. I would more so see it just kind of marinating over time. Let a slow build. But we just don't know. We just have to let this evolve and let this grow. All right, so that's one big announcement and news for today. And then we're just waiting for the Fed and what they are going to be doing and how the conversation is going to go. Because basically, like, we know now that they will be cutting a 25 basis point cut tomorrow. That's kind of just like priced in. But what's not priced in is the tone and the perception of how the Fed looks at the market. Because if they continue to signal that they don't think the economy is as bad as what we all say it is, then they're just going to have a slower rate and no aggressive cuts going into next year, quarter 1 and 2 of 2026. They're just going to keep on their schedule where they'll probably cut 25. You see how it just kind of goes down the line leading up to March in the first quarter of 2026 to then be at a target rate of 3.5%. So that means only cutting a full percent from right now, where we're at a 4.5% rate. And it will then be just a full percent over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 months. Now, what does that mean? I mean, it means that there will be a lot of markets that are going to be adjusting rates over the next 6 months. So the housing market is going to have an adjustment. Lending rates will have an adjustment. Anywhere where the banks are figuring out their rates and what they're going to be offering, that's all going to be at play. And so that's going to affect the economy, I'm sure, in terms of spending, in terms of a lot of things. But then, as the Fed are doing this, they're also going to be printing more money. And they're still going to be printing more money, which correlates with the big bill, the big beautiful bill, which means all they did was raise the debt ceiling and enable us to be able to just spend more. And what are we going to spend it on? We're probably going to buy a bunch of assets, and we're investing in AI and tech. President Trump came, the first, couple months of his administration had announced, this major investment into AI, and then also over the next few months after that, announcing a major investment with these big tech companies to make their chips here, make the phones here, products, build factories. With Apple announcing they're going to make sure that they are providing jobs and actually having their products and certain things being here. So for me, it's just like I just signal out that it's not going to be a recession. It's just going to be we're just going to be ramming up. The train's just going to get a little faster, and these people want to make some money. Let's just be honest. Like, they want to be making money long term, not a quick flip and then a crash, quick flip, crash. They're not in a meme coin trench. These people and these institutions that are basically, if you just want to look at it this way, whoever is inflowing and outflowing into these ETFs like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and big money going into these treasuries for ETH and Bitcoin, they are looking 20 years down the line. They are looking 15, 20 years down the line. They're not looking at it as a 4-year cycle of Bitcoin and altcoins. They're not. We have just been convinced that that's how we should look at it. So then we know when to buy and sell and when to get in and out of the market. But I think those days are over. I personally think those days are way, way over. And there's going to be a point where crypto and certain ecosystems have so much of an upside potential that of course there will be volatility, but man, Bitcoin's proven that. I mean, it's just been volatility to the upside and it's just staircasing, you know? So give me just a second, guys. My camera's ringing, you know. I've told you guys I use my iPhone, which my iPhone actually doesn't look too bad for a camera. I would say for it being a phone, it does pretty good. I'd say it's pretty, you know, quality-wise, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think the iPhone does pretty decent for as a streaming camera? I think I have like the 14 or something. I don't even have like the newest one or the newest fancy one that has like 3 cameras on the back. Mine only just has 2 cameras on the back. Okay, so let's get some shout outs. I don't even know how many people are watching. It's been running my mouth. Let's see. And I probably screwed up my algorithm too, because I usually go live at 11, but I went live at like 11:40. Okay, so shout out to Ozzy. We got Ozzy and Eric Espacino in the house. What's going on? Ozzy says this cycle will be different, especially with such a pro-crypto government. Yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, I just hope it's not like a massive rug pull, you know, because we do have like PTSD a little bit. I think we all do, from being rugged over the past 3-4 years. Like there was a bunch of different black swan events and rug catalysts that basically gave us shell shock to really be very touchy with certain theories in the market, which of the or thought processes of like, should we be exiting out of crypto now? Should we be selling? Should we be, what should we be doing? Should we be bearish or bullish? And I get it now, but the way that this is what's helped me. And I hope, did I save it in the stocks? Because I just go and I want to look at things like Amazon. Amazon is a perfect example of a company that with its origins was very simple. They were selling books online. Simple, but also complicated, because then the infrastructure there had to be built along the way. It had to grow, it had to mature, it had to go through all of the growing pains, all of the different things. You go to the Amazon chart and just go to the monthly. Go to the monthly of the Amazon chart and look at the early 2000s. Like go to the financial crash of 2008. Go to the .com bubble boom, or the .com crash, the bubble pop right here, because that was like at the Y2K, right? Going into the 2000s, there was the 2000s quote crash, like everything was going to burn, like it was like going into the millennia. That was where everything was going to, basically stop working, new system, whatever, and things are going to be built from the ashes. But here was the bottom of that. Amazon was at like 30 cents in September of 2001. And then you look at what happened after the fact of it, quote, being the worst, quote. That's always like every time, and if you look at the historical record of the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, and every time there's been a quote, it's never coming back. It's going to literally be in the ground forever. And this is usually what they do. They go doom, gloom, you are toast. and they'd say it's gonna go down even more. It usually bottoms out, and then they just load up. Amazon was a perfect example of saying, okay, well, we're going to come out of this and we're going to actually become stronger. We're going to be the dominant force. And then they started adding Amazon Web Services and also the aspect of other stores selling on Amazon, and then Amazon taking a piece for providing the infrastructure for other small businesses to set up their own stores, sell on there, and then it became way more than just books online. It became an entire takeover. So that's what I like to look at and compare with crypto. There's just a layer of growth with crypto that we have to look at for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So you just want to be holding crypto for a very long time is what I'm saying. Instead of thinking about, I should be selling here, buying here. I mean, if you think about it, if you're going to hold Bitcoin, okay, if you're going to hold Bitcoin for the next 10, 15, 20 years, do you really care buying it at 100,000 or at 150,000 or even at 200,000? Because at a point, the damn thing could potentially be at $1 million to $2 million per coin. Especially at the rate of how much liquidity and capital around the entire world, it's just all fiat cash is being put on this network through so many different modalities. So I don't see how every time someone that is usually pretty smart, it's not probably knows way more about finance than we do, but they say Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Just with looking at it right now, there's way more of a chance of it not going to zero than it going to zero. So I'd rather just bet on it not going to zero, because the people that have bet on it going to zero, it had looked really good for them. So it hasn't looked very, very well. And they get put back into the timeline to be reminded of how closed off they were, because they thought they knew everything. They thought they were smarter they thought they were smart. They knew. They knew it was going to go to zero. They were 100% certain. They were 100% certain Bitcoin was going to zero. All those people that were 100% certain, what do they say now? So the point is, think of it like crypto is like the Amazon stock of growth. Crypto's now the new, this is it. Crypto is the new technology. It's the new forefront, bleeding edge of culture, with the memes, with the thing with Pump Fun, with people being able to tokenize a thought. It's just this is what you have to think about. It is way bigger than we make it out to be sometimes by getting caught up in the 4-year cycles. It's like we only just created those 4-year cycles to make ourselves feel better probably about ourselves. But really, if we just bought Bitcoin the entire time and then just kind of dabbled in altcoins a little bit, we would be, oh my God. If we just DCA'd consistently like a psychopath, like Michael Saylor, But King Gluey, you think so? Say Michael Saylor must be liquidated. It's like no. It's like, but think about it. Like he's not the only one that's leveraged up. Like the whole entire market's leveraged up. So if you want Michael Saylor to get liquidated, that means you want the whole entire system to go down. It's all based on debt and leverage. That's the whole point. That's why people are trying to get out of it by using it to then buy Bitcoin. Don't you get it? Because Bitcoin it's going to infinitely go up. So the only way that you can survive in the debt-based system that's ratio to nothing, it's ratio to nothing. It used to be that it was ratio to silver. You can go and they had the silver reserves. And you could be like, I want this right now, silver certificate, gold certificate in the bills. But those days have been long gone. Long gone. So the big boys know this, and all they're doing is just going, if I can get leveraged debt at 0.5%, at 1%, and I can buy this appreciating asset with it that goes up 80 to 90 to 100% a year over year, then what am I doing? That's why they're doing this. That's why they're doing this. It's not because they're trying to convince the next guy that Bitcoin's going to go up so then their bags go up. No, the dollar is dead. That thing is toast. It is not going to get stronger. It's only going to get weaker. And the only way that it could potentially do anything besides keep going down, which you see it right here, is that it's all going to be ratioed in digital dollars of stable coins. But then even then, that's just, you're just ratioing to an asset of a dollar that has no ratio in backing by itself besides the might of the US military. That's it. That's it. So you have to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? No, it's not about being lucky. We're not lucky. We have been tuned into this. We are here because we feel this in our bones. We feel like we've been gaslighted to not believe this, to not be doubling down on crypto. There's so many vampire attacks and things that'll make you doubt yourself. That what we're doing right now and what we're talking about is not important, and it's not something that will literally save your life and save you from going into debt slavery. You're going to go, oh, like that's how I can do it. This is how I can do it. You just buy assets. You invest like a madman. There might be some things that are not going to perform as well. Maybe you picked a couple altcoins that you thought were just going to be the one. But damn, I mean, if you at least have some exposure to the top 20 cryptos right now, and you have it at least a healthy allocation, like this, like a diversified allocation, major coins. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum for stability, two biggest coins. And then you're kind of getting a little bit of exposure going to 30-10 rule with like 30 to 20% altcoins. Crypto, he just posted a video today. He's saying, look, I'm still 80% Bitcoin, but I have 20% of my portfolio that I still get exposure into altcoins because he uses it as a means to get more Bitcoin, and that's just his personal strategy. And I remember hearing that back in the day, and I was like, oh, really? So you would just want to use those to get more Bitcoin? And I didn't quite understand why you would want to do that, but now it's like, geez, you start to look at those ratios of altcoins. And you start to look at, like he used the ratio of XRP to Bitcoin. It's kind of like you would want to be You would want to be in Bitcoin at the bottoms of the ratio. So it's like basically at any from here down, you would want to be selling your XRP into Bitcoin, and then at the bottoms here, at once it's like completely freaking bottomed, you would want to be then maybe using a little bit of your Bitcoin, or if you don't want to, or you're just like, hey, I'm just gonna use my cash. Like I have $1,000 something extra dollars that I can buy some XRP at the bottom of this ratio. And then what the hell happened when this ratio flipped? XRP went up 700 freaking %. And then you'd cash out of the XRP a little bit and then go right into Bitcoin if the ratio started to go down. Or you would wait until the ratio peaked up at previous bull market levels, and then you would be taking profits in XRP into Bitcoin, because then what would you think would happen after that? The ratio would go down, and then that would mean that Bitcoin is going up. And it's actually been like this for Ethereum with Ethereum BTC. It's been kind of the same thing. So this could be a way that you could just be knowing that like there are times where there's like it's really heavy Bitcoin, and then there's times where it's like, all right, alt season, let's go. We saw it in 2017, we saw it in November 2021, and then we now have seen it going from this bottom in this year in May, in June, and then now look. Why have altcoins been, or why have we been in the preseason of alts? It's like football, you know. Football just started. We're like right in the first season, first games. We're not at the Super Bowl yet. That's how you have to think about it. Super Bowl's next is what? Next year? When's the Super Bowl? That's when all the crypto ads are coming in. That's when there's going to be a massive ad campaigns at crypto.com and Coinbase and Kraken, and all those people are going to be just waiting to try and get exposure to people who are watching sports. And guess what they're doing? They're sports betting. Guess what all the apps are doing? All their super apps, prediction markets and sports betting. What do they have also on those apps? Crypto. What are they going to see first? The things that have been pumping since the here to here. What are those things going to be? Your guess is as good as mine, but I have a few coins that I think might be in that list. It might still be Dogecoin. That's whatever it's gonna make me laugh, but it's still probably be damn Dogecoin, and retail is gonna buy Dogecoin again. It could be Chainlink. People start seeing Chainlink as one of the runners, and you've got all the Chainlink going $100. I'm like, dang, Chainlink seems pretty cheap compared to Ethereum. And then all of a sudden, retail starts buying Chainlink. Who knows? I don't know. They see AVAX as a cheap option to all these other altcoins. Solana, they might see Solana. But when I see SHIB, oh my gosh! And then look at Floki. Oh my god. Sorry, I just totally forgot. Supposed to be talking about this too, because this is also super bullish news. Where's the Floki? Where's the Floki announcement? Where's Floki? Floki had a huge announcement, or they talked on Bloomberg, and it got over 1 million views on this video. Did someone tag me in it? Yes, it was Ozzy. There it is. Okay, thank you, Ozzy. Look at this. Okay, look. Floki's interview on Bloomberg's New to the Street has just passed 1 million views on YouTube. This is crazy, guys. Okay, if you've been watching this channel for long enough, I've been tuned into this shit, and excuse my language, I don't care, because I just like every time I've been taught. How many times have I mentioned Floki in the past couple months? I about almost mentioned it every stream. And I don't even own Floki. I have no stake in Floki. But I pull up the chart and I reference the fact that was the biggest mover and runner when ETH only went up 20%. And so it just signaled to me that there's something happening with like strong coins that originally I believe was on. There's an Ethereum contract, but then there is also a Binance. I think there's a BNB contract as well. let's make sure that we are right on that. Floki 84 in terms of the rank in terms of market cap, and main contract of liquidity on the DEX that has the most volume, I believe, is actually the Binance Smart Chain contract is outpacing the volume on that particular contract than it is on Ethereum. So yeah, so you have a BNB contract and also the Ethereum contract, just so you know. And yeah, pretty crazy. Okay, so let's go back to this. So yeah, this interview showcased Floki's vision, ecosystem, and community strength to a global mainstream audience. I did not watch it yet, but it's an 11-minute interview. But yeah, let's see what they see just in the first couple minutes.
Welcome to New to the Street, Exploring the Block. I'm your host, Janet Alvarez, joined today by a very special guest, Pedro Vidal, who is the Chief Relationship Officer of Floki. Pedro, welcome to our show.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Pedro, first, for our audience who isn't yet familiar with Floki, tell us about your company. Tell us about your blockchain protocol.
Well, Floki is a community-driven project on the blockchain. And one of the things that we do and we strive for is we want to make sure that we make the blockchain experience easier for individuals, whether today's day one in blockchain or you've been a seasoned vet. So our community is heavily focused on being engaged in the decision-making process. So we designed an ecosystem with many different products and services that can make the transition a lot easier for individuals that want to get into blockchain. But for those that are already in the industry, we make sure that they have robust tools so that they could be successful.
So tell us about some of the utilities, some of the projects within Floki. What is Floki comprised?
So with Floki, we have several ecosystem products. While many projects in blockchain, they're very much like a one-trick pony, and what they do very well, and they stay within that silo. We wanted to be different. So we pride ourselves in being the world's first in many respects. We're actually the world's first CTO, which is a community takeover where the community rallies and provides leadership and structure and guidance to the project. So
I like this guy. I want him to come on the channel because he is just spitting the rawness and the ability of some of these meme coins. He mentioned about the CTO. And we've seen this with projects that have actually been, CTO'd, and I didn't know that Floki was a CTO. That's wild.
Very early on, we wanted to fix some of the problems that were plaguing the blockchain, specifically blockchain gaming. So our first utility product was Valhalla, which is an MMORPG game that you could play right now. It's browser-based. And mainnet launch is actually June 30th. But
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're super excited. And it's taking years to be able to bring to market. But we needed to fix some of the problems plaguing blockchain gaming, which had to do with unsustainable economy and a lack of robust player-earned mechanics. So we've been able to fix that. And infrastructure-wise, this is the largest game ever designed per blockchain gaming. So we're very excited. But it takes years to develop. So we wanted to make sure that we could look at other individual silos. So we got into DeFi and we were able to create and launch the largest innovative token locker solution and DeFi protocol, which is our Flokify token locker. So you have the immediate utility to be able to lock your LP and other assets. It's the only token locker solution of its kind that adheres to the ERC 1155 standard. And for the audience, which I know is like very, very like well-versed, and if they're not, I'll explain that it's easier for you to be able to lock your assets with ERC 1155. You don't have to pay multiple fees. So we had developers in mind, and for those that want to launch their projects, so they could keep their assets safe for their community. And then we started getting into the GameFi, creating Valhalla. But then we transcended and getting other tools like the Floki trading bot, which just crossed over 173 million in total volume. We're very, very excited about that. But we wanted to make sure that we would also get into tokenization. So while everyone was talking about tokenization at the end of 2023, we just recently launched our RWA tokenization platform.
So I wanted to ask you about that. We've heard a lot about utility-based projects, utility-based ecosystems. What are they and how is yours utility-based?
So essentially, you have some projects that are just a currency, right? And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, right? There's a beautiful thing about blockchain is it's technically like the wild, wild west in many respects. But with a utility product and a utility token, you have an ecosystem within a project, and then that token, in this case, would be the Floki token, is used to be able to power individual products and services. So if you're looking at our Flokify token locker, Floki is the utility token there. When we're looking at Valhalla, the Floki is going to play an instrumental role. So and sometimes people get lost in the weeds a little bit on what utility really means, because it's a buzzword right now. Every project wants to have utility, but do they show it? Many do not. And while many of the claims and
I love this because we on this channel, I'm sure you guys maybe have been from this school of thought too, and it evolved over time. We put a lot of trust in like the people that are running a blockchain, like the face of it, like whether it be Vitalik or whether it be Gavin Wood or Charles Hoskinson or Richard Hart or whoever it is. They're like these people that are like the face of the, you know, the creators. And really, it's like what he's talking about here is so interesting about like the utility base of a token and with the actual use case of it. And I find it fascinating that meme coins do such a good job at providing more utility than some of these other tokens. Like for instance, like I hate to use Cardano as an example, but unless you can prove me wrong, I feel like meme coins have the biggest potential to drive community-based utility with the token. And if blockchains that have a token want to get more people to buy and hold the freaking token, there's got to be cool ways to be able to incentivize that. And this is exactly what Floki's doing, a meme coin. Why can't these other blockchains accomplish that type of drive and be talking like this dude? Because this dude's getting me freaking bullish. I was already in this mindset, but this makes me even more freaking bullish.
words that I say now, you know, are objective truths. I think that the audience should also know that the GMAC just published a report at the end of last year, specifically on utility tokens, and they cited Floki third on the list of the perfect example behind E and Avalanche, which is a wonderful list to be on.
So talk to us about the gaming experience on Floki and Valhalla. Tell us more about that. Where did the idea surge from?
So many meme projects have like an individual identity that's created based on like the logo that they utilize. So the trajectory of Floki is a little different, where the traditional paradigm is you have a developer, they create a project, and then they bring that project to market. Now they find the community to be able to rally and then move forward. It wasn't like that with Floki. It started that way, but things changed. So the original developer of Floki essentially like rug pulled the project and left the project in dire straits. The second developer did the same. So the community was, you know, unfortunately put in a situation where it could have been like many of the other projects that are now in the blockchain graveyard. But instead of looking at it as a doom and gloom situation, we had an opportunity to seize the moment and control our own identity. So the community created the world's first community takeover, and now that's where we are. So we're obviously a Viking-themed Shiba Inu dog. It was created out of a social media post. Initially, like Elon Musk stated, oh, if I'm going to buy a Shiba Inu, and when I do, I'm going to name it Floki, which is how we got that identity. But very quickly after the CTO started to be engaged, we wanted to make sure that we were going to not be like every other meme project, which doesn't have a need for utility, and that's fine. There's plenty of pie to go around, but we wanted to be different. We wanted to show the next generation in meme coin evolution, which was a meme inspired and born project that focuses heavily on utility. And that's where we've been. So Valhalla is obviously a Viking themed game where we've incorporated some of the best elements of very popular games from around the world that have been quite successful, but we made it into the blockchain space. So you have an entire metaverse where you could enjoy, walk around, interact with different community members, do all these different tasks. But there's also a battle arena turn-based component.
How cool.
It's super, super exciting. And this is truly is only the beginning. And there's something in it for everyone.
Charity, of course, also immensely important to Floki.
Correct.
Tell us about the role charity plays in your protocol.
Yo, I'm getting bullish on I'm getting even more bullish on Floki, my friends. I don't know if you are. I'm getting super. I was already bullish. Like I said, guys, like if you had been watching this channel for as long as I think you have been, we've been mentioning and talking about Floki. I was like, I don't know, there's just something about Floki. What is it? And now I know what it is. Now I understand. I did not realize that it had such a strong CTO community that came in and basically revives this thing from the ashes. So it's really, really cool. But yeah, let me know, guys. Are you holding any Floki? Are you guys in the Floki community? Are you bag holders? I think it might be probably worth looking into, you know, like we talked about, like we like holding Doge, like we want to always have a little bit of Dogecoin. But it would be interesting to also just have a side bag. Like obviously I think a lot of OG Doge people, they liked Shiba Inu too. They saw it as like a very strong, viable, you know, same parallel narrative with Doge. And so you see how that went. I mean, SHIB was able to get, if we look at SHIB, and this is what's interesting about the blockchains, because remember Shiba Inu had created and was behind kind of funding Shibarium, which was kind of its own community ran thing. And then they kind of got away from it. And now Shiba Inu separated itself from Shibarium as in terms of being involved in any decision making. They're just like, we're not associated with that. So, but this is interesting with Floki. It's like not the case. It's like full on, like they're really trying to go for it. So yeah, this is interesting. But yeah, let's see how the market cap. I mean, I think SHIB, it was like at a $35 billion market cap. So at a point, SHIB was like in the top. I mean, God, it was in like the top 15 or something like that. Right now, it's in the number 23 spot, right below Kronos, which is just like in comparison to the amount of investment that has gone into Kronos. And then you see right under it is a meme coin. I love crypto for that fact. I think that's what really, honestly, truly started to get me and so interested in these ecosystems, these different coins, because the amount of money that can be made and what you can do and what you can build around these brands and these products and these coins and these chains when it comes to the meme coins, it's endless. It's like the sky's the limit. Like you could basically create entire brands and companies and things and stuff, cool things for people to be able to do and use with these coins and with something like Pepe or something like Floki or something like, you know, because they also do encourage that too. Like they want people to do this because, for instance, like Ticker Bitcoin, like that's a great example of a community, you know, meme coin where, you know, very much the Sprotos are very creative. They love making stuff. They love making merch. They love supporting the coin and, you know, just like being like forever billboards for it. And that's kind of what you want. That's what you want. And yeah, so this is what's happening right now, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Also, likes have been a little lackluster. We got to get the likes up a little faster. That basically YouTube, I've noticed if my live stream in the first hour, or sorry, in the first like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, if I don't have 10 likes, they're not putting it out. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care what bullish things I'm talking about. They don't care if they're even if YouTube themselves was bullish on XYO and they were investing. They don't care. You have to destroy the like button, and it has to happen in the first 10 minutes. And actually, even before the live stream starts, if you can get 10 likes on the live stream, they're more likely in the algo to be pushing it out there. That's just how it works. I don't make the rules. If I made the rules, I'd have every single cryptocurrency live stream on the front page of YouTube, so we all can get a piece of the YouTube bread. Us cryptocurrency content creators and live streamers, we come here grinding every single day, and they definitely don't give us enough of that pie, enough of that algo and ad revenue pie. Same with X too. X, like, there's people on here that doing great work, making videos, live streaming, and they give more algo to the scammers on here and the bot accounts than they do the people that use the platform every single day. And hey, if I met Elon, that'd be one of the first things I talk to him about. I'd be like, why does your platform always incentivize creators to use it, but then you don't pay them enough? And you let the accounts that are basically proven that they've been scamming people through investigations from people like ZachXBT, and you're just algo farming the crap out of those accounts. Why, Elon? Why? Support the smaller accounts and give us the algo share, my brother, and stop punishing us, because I feel like that's what happens. But I digress. All right, let's see how that XL1 token is doing. Oh, let's go. Look, it's it's doing I love when my drawings just happen right, like exactly as I'm drawing them. I said, look, it's probably going to be a nice little marinating slow build, and so it's less likely to be doing something like that. It's probably going to do something like this. It's like gonna go do. For that, Elon, your Doge will be confiscated. Yeah, that's the thing that YouTube and X need to fix the bots, man. They're so ridiculous. Like, for instance, I'll go to my content, or let's see, analytics for, God, what was let me go to the community, because then you can see all these scam comments. There's over like 150 to 200 bot scam comments that have this XA31P, this like fake crypto. This one has that same one. And then what they do is they'll add in they'll say, oh, I'm invested in Turbo Floki Pepe, but also XA31P, which is a fake token. And it's just like all these bot accounts. How is it that Google, who owns YouTube, is not able to use their powerful AI to be able to spot that this is happening by the nature of it happening? Like, look, like, obviously this is bot activity because it's multiple comments commenting the same thing in one batch. How is it they can't just take that and immediately have a way that they can just delete them? And then it can also flag the account, like this Abel James. This is a bot fake account because it's obviously commenting this. They should immediately flag that account and delete it, because it's ruining channels. Because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I can't even see the real comments because these are in the way. I can't even freaking see the actual real comments because there's so many bot comments, and I don't have the time to freaking go through 250 comments to mediate it. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So YouTube, what the hell? Please fix it. For the love of all lords, please fix it. All right, so we're going to go to danocrypto.com. Make sure you guys are going to that website as well, danocrypto.com. Send your people here. Take the Bitcoin trivia machine for fun. We built that with AI. We built that ourselves. We built, you can build little games like this, like really fast. If you didn't know, it's fun. And if you click on Dano Crypto, you're going to get brought down here where you're going to see Sonic running fast. You got to go fast. And then you can also see the crypto bubbles here. You can get the hourly, and you can also do your own little, you know, you can go in and change the, and edit the time periods and the bubble size and all that stuff. You can go to the 15-minute. So yeah, we'll see what's been just performing pretty well in terms of the hourly right now in the top 100. So we can see we have Hex up 1.6%, Pendle up 2%. We got Monero up 1.5%. We got Solana up 0.9%. We got Lido DAO up 0.6%, Injected 0.2%, Bitcoin Cash up 0.6%, Pyth up 0.9%, nothing too crazy. Yeah, biggest performers here. MYX, not exactly. So MYX Finance, I haven't really dived into that. I've kind of seen it floating around, but that's up the most out of all of these currently right now, 2.6%. We also have Pingu getting up there. Got Bitcoin up 0.5% right now. Bitcoin sitting at a price point of 115,000. We're going to see how that is going to trade into tomorrow. I would say your entries are most likely going to be today and in the middle of the night. I would say that probably most likely it is going to get real volatile and bing bong around today, and they are going to look at the liquidation levels. Okay, for Bitcoin specifically, we need to be looking at the liquidation levels today and looking at what the max pain is. And now, because this is great, CoinGlass, if you want to get the absolute max pain levels of what the liquidation levels would be on the short side and on the long side, this is where the money is right now. This is awesome. CoinGlass, you just go to liquidations and you can go liquidation max pain. So usually we use the heat map, but the max pain actually is cool because then you can just see, okay, there is going to be a lot of long liquidations happening at $114,100. Okay, so what we would do is say, okay, let's go to Bitcoin and make sure that we set an alert at $114,100, and we would just do that. Go on to whatever chart you have for Bitcoin. We have this one. We got the Coinbase one. They kind of look very similar. We're drawing channels all over the place. Let's see here. So we're going to clear this up. We're going to clear this up, and we're going to go into the 4 hour, and we're going to see where that price point is. We're going to see exactly where that price point is and see if that is where they would do max pain on us. Oh, it's on that purple level. So it's on that purple line. We already have it marked. So maybe we'll, instead of it being max pain, we'll just go to that wick. So we'll just go to that wick here, and we're going to set an alert on that line, and we're going to make sure it's giving us a nice something, handbell maybe. Yeah, we'll do the handbell. So we're going to create that. Oh, I need to upgrade. Oh, dang, I need to pay my bill. All right, well, you guys do that. If you paid your TradingView bill, you make sure you set an alert there. So 114,400 or around that. That's where that wick was. But yeah, I would bet that they're gonna max pain us, because look, people are gonna try and get in the markets for trying to lead up to this FOMC. Okay, so they're gonna destroy you first, and so what we're gonna do is try and counter destroy, and we are going to try and catch entries at these levels right here, because then that's when we're going to be possibly bouncing off to the upside. Because if you can get it down here, I'd imagine this is going to be where the FOMC territory is going to be trading up to test. So I'd say before it trades up to here, I would say maybe they're gonna liquidate the longs. But I could be wrong, because I want to mention also too, on the other side, you have the short max pain, which is 116,248. 116,248. We go to 116,248, 116,248. That's literally right where we're sitting right by it. So we're in this range of liquidations. This is the range of liquidations now. So we have this one, and we already from yesterday hit that level. I want to make sure that this is updated. Yeah, 114. Okay, interesting. Or let's do. Oh no, we got to do the. Oh, there we go. That's different. 12 hours on the 24 hour. Okay, so long max pain 113.8, and then short max pain 117. So 114. So it's actually down here, and then we have it up 117. This is actually okay. So it's like around there, around up on that top of the wick. Gosh, we're almost like in the middle of this liquidation range right now, guys. Oh man, it's gonna get a little dicey. So yeah, I would say your best case scenario would be trying to snatch up some entries if it gets back down into any of these ranges right here. Any of these ranges right here. And then that would be a good, fib retrace test. If we do it to the wick here, or let's do it down to that wick. And so it would be testing the 382, which is 114.7. It would do that. That would be the bounce point. So it'd be something like that. Boom, boom. Then test through the 786. If it can break through the 786 and not get rejected, then what's the next level? 119. I don't know when that could happen. I don't know. We're just going to let we're going to let this trading day go through because this is the day before the FOMC. So maybe we can ask AI. This is where AI comes in handy because then you can say in a new chat, how has the price action of Bitcoin been historically the day before an FOMC meeting and also the day of? So let's see what it says. Okay, so it says historical Bitcoin price action around FOMC meetings. So Bitcoin price has shown distinct patterns around FOMC meetings since its early trading days, particularly from 2015. So let's see. So pre-FOMC. So this is what we're curious about is the day before. Prices often decline as traders de-risk. So a 2019 study analyzed data from Bitcoin's inceptions through 2019, found an average log return increase of 0.96 on the day before announcements, but more recent patterns post-2020 show consistent sell-offs with drops of 4 to 13% in the lead up to several meetings. Open interest in Bitcoin futures typically fall, and spot ETF outflows increase, signaling caution. And so let's see what happened here. Oh, it gave me a list. Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna focus on since like maybe these meetings that were like the closest ones. So it says day before change percentage. So in December 18, 2024, we had a decline of 3.4%, and then the day of it went up 1%. So rate cuts 25 basis points. So that's a good metric that we could actually go off of to maybe compare it to. Let's see this one. Okay, so this one would be the one right here. So, oh yeah, that's pending. Let's see wherever we cut 25 basis points. Rates held steady, rates held, rates steady, 50 basis points. Okay, so this was in September 18th. We had a 1.2% brief to 61K, then it went flat, so it went sideways, but the day before it went down 2.1%. And then that was when we were getting a 50 basis point cut, initial pump, then sell off on the sell the news event of this particular cut. So this is interesting. So now September 17th, let's see, it's projecting that it would be down 2% ongoing as of September 16th today. And so let's see how that is going to play out. Let's see how it's going to play out. Let's go back to this. And let's see. So how to arrive at these insights. So gather FOMC data, blah, 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 broader historical trends. Consistent pre-meeting dips averaged between 6 to 8% amid rate pause cuts with post-announcement rebounds if dovish. So if, for an example, we had 18 to 26% on the weekly, if it's dovish remarks, good, it's not super hawkish. And then we also have the rate cut as well. So September historically has been weak for BTC with a 6.7%, negative 6.7% average, amplifying the FOMC effects. So let's remember that tomorrow, volatility often peaks intraday around 2 p.m. with cumulative abnormal returns up to 22% in the week after dovish events. Whilst not predictive, this de-risk then react pattern holds 70 to 85% of the time in recent cycles. So driven by Bitcoin's risk asset status for the current September 17th, 2025 meeting, expect similar potential dip today, then volume tomorrow on the expected 25 basis point cut. So seems pretty logical. All right. Cool. So we had XYO actually like the video. So I hope they repost it or something. That would be cool. All right. Solana is actually live right now and they're interviewing someone. They have 38,000 people watching. I wonder who they are interviewing.
The Wall Street guys are like, it's a trading system and they generally love it. The folks in DC are,
I'm very tokenization can help, bring a better
they have
alternative
Lon on.
And completely take down the big social media giants of today.
Oh, wow. Take down the big social media giants. That's a very ambitious, spicy goal. I like that. So, okay, let's talk about that right now. You mentioned the word vision a few times. What is the concrete vision? Like when you guys...
Now, if you don't know where I just went into this live stream, I just kind of guessed and was trying to see who was on here. So they have Alon on right now. He is the creator and CEO of Pump.Fun. And so we made a video on this recently, and we're also probably going to test out doing a live stream on there because whether you're bullish or bearish, it doesn't matter. You can be bullish or bearish or on this particular idea, but I think if you're just going to look out and zoom out on this particular idea, we are still in the super early phases of this. And all we are doing is being the test market as creators for seeing how this can evolve and basically become one of the biggest creator markets in crypto. It really could. It could have the potential to be that big, but we just have to see how it goes. We just have to just be a part of it and see how it evolves. And I mean, yeah. So this is Alon. He's talking about it right now on a Solana live stream.
You're doing your weekly kickoff or stand-ups during the Pump.Fun headquarters, and you motivate the team and you tell the new hires like, this is our mission. What do you tell them? Like, what is the message?
That's a great question. Our vision is to completely change the way that creators create and the way that they interact with their audience. We believe that traders, everybody's a trader, and everybody can gain by becoming a trader, whether that is by trying to find the next big streamer or finding the next big startup or
And I think what he means by that, when he means by everyone's a trader, because you're thinking like, oh, what do you mean by that? Everyone's a trader. Everyone is trading something. You are either trading a piece of something that you own for another thing, which could be your actual capital. You're trading your capital for a set asset or an asset for an asset, or a token for a token. You're trading your time. You're trading your time and energy to then get paid by your job. And so there's always an exchange of something, and you're always selling something too. You're selling yourself. You're selling the idea of what your skills are, or you are basically representing yourself as a if you're gonna break it down in a type of capitalistic way, is say like you are representing yourself as the brand and as the product to then sell for other people to pay you money. I mean, so that's kind of how so I get where his mentality is coming from, and that really is true. That's how it is. That's how economies work.
Meme coin, we can essentially provide a lot more value to everyone by using tokenized rails on a blockchain. So again, as a viewer, you're able to possibly use your skills to make money and support your creators. And as a creator, you can whether a startup or a meme coin or a streamer, you can instantly monetize with no censorship and no middlemen. So that is where we're headed, and we're building towards it every single day.
Very cool. So I'm just reading some of the comments.
So yeah, I mean, there's controversy with it. It's something like this is like when it comes to new emerging tech and things in a product or an application, where it's gonna have to find its way. And so I think if people use this platform to do good, and they use it to not, reveal the worst part of, society or the most grifty parts of society, it actually will reveal that there are people that are trying to do some cool stuff. They're trying to build a brand, and this is the way that they can use this platform, and they can use crypto to be able to finance something that they normally wouldn't have been able to finance so quickly. Maybe this is like to where people don't even have to go and get a loan. They don't have to go and get a freaking bank loan to start a business. They can start a live stream and literally raise funds through the creator market to be able to do whatever they're wanting to do. That's exactly what I want to do now. It's like, why not? I even thought about it. Like, I was going to stream on Pump Fund yesterday, and I decided not to. And then lo and behold, Alex Becker was on Pump Fund. His stream went out. So then he took all the money that he made from the stream and was surprise donating to random Pump Fund streamers. That could have been one of my streams that he popped up, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, who's Dano Crypto?" And then he goes on there, and then all of a sudden Alex Becker mentions Dano Crypto on his live stream and donates money. You gotta believe in something, my friends. It's almost like if you just had followed your initial instinct, which was mine to be like, should I live stream? And I even talked about it days before Alex Becker was talking about live streaming on Pump Fund. Sometimes you got to just trust yourselves, my friends. That's another big message that I like to talk about on this channel, is like, if you can get to a point to where you are actually trusting yourself and your intuition, you actually might be the one that is the quant, not you trying to find the quant out there. Like, you are the quant. You're tuning in and you are dialed and locked into your own way of perceiving this market, which is your edge. That's a beautiful thing. That's when you start to feel very powerful and convicted in your mission. You start to feel really powerful. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it. I think we've covered enough today. Let's see. I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, we covered Floki, we covered XYO, we covered XL1, the new layer. Let's see, anything else that we would like to cover? Here we go with the AI agents and the crypto AI agents. Look, Ethereum was just talking about, we talked about it yesterday, about Ethereum having their own AI team inside the foundation. And so Google launches AP2 protocol for AI agent crypto payments. Google has unveiled the Agentic Payments Protocol, AP2, an open source framework that merges artificial intelligence with cryptocurrency to allow AI agents to conduct autonomous transactions across platforms, accommodating traditional credit cards and stablecoins. So this is huge. And so they're collaborating with Coinbase to do so. So this is like, man. So when we talk about investing in crypto for the long term, this is like getting early access into $1 trillion industry. That is all you have to think about, is like you're getting access into $1 trillion industry that is literally only valued at 4 trillion right now as a whole. And if companies are this big right now, that are valued at 4.3 trillion, Nvidia, one company on the stock market is valued at 4.3 trillion, and the entire cryptocurrency market is valued at 4.3 trillion. And you want me to be thinking about cycles? How about crypto go up? There's your cycle. There's your cycle. Crypto go up. I'm going to be a moon boy right now. I don't care. Because you got to just think bigger. You got to think bigger. Sometimes people in crypto are way too goldfish brained. You got to have big brain. You need the big brain. Big brain. Big brain like Wojak. Let's show you big brain. Big brain like Wojak. Big Brain Wojak recently discovered something that has changed Wojak's life. When you get a Chipotle bowl, and this is brilliant. When you get a Chipotle bowl, you seal it all the way up and shake the container vigorously in various orientations. And then you get a perfectly mixed slop every time. See, that's big brain stuff. We got to be big brain Wojak, okay? Big brain Wojak. Just come on, guys. Like you can't wait till 2028 or 2029 to get massively, extremely rich. You can't wait. You can't eat rice bowls. You can't eat like ramen rice bowls for another year. You're not going to make it. So if you can't do that and literally just double down on getting digital assets because of all these signals that we're seeing, then you might as well go ahead and check yourself in to the place where they're going to plug you directly into the matrix. Go ahead and check in. Take the blue pill. You will still be able to taste the steak. You'll be able to do the thing. You'll feel the rain on your skin. You'll go to the job. You'll get paid. Life will feel like it's normal, but it's not. You're in the matrix. Get out. How do you do that? Well, you start to believe that cryptocurrency can go to literally like $100 trillion total like asset class. That's how you have to think about it. I would love to just like if I could get the Amazon chart and just superimpose it onto this and just like, here's where Amazon is. Here's where Amazon is compared to what the cryptocurrency, total cryptocurrency market cap is. And we're thinking about this thing and like, oh, well, I wonder if the 4-year cycle is still in play. Like, I don't care. It's all going up. You're going to be spending Bitcoin in space, baby. That's where we're headed, my friends. Bitcoin in space. Space money. All right. All right. With that being said, my friends, I'm getting a little too excited. Scuba Trouble said, the first time I came up, I was eating mostly ramen and slinging flour. Yeah, let's go. Scuba Gerbil, I knew, cut from the same cloth. Did that until I had enough to keep going and buy eggs to add to the ramen. That's what I'm talking about. Being resourceful. Being resourceful. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we've had fun with you. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share this live stream. Make sure you please leave a comment at the end of this, so it's not just a bot comment. It helps so much. You guys have no idea how much it helps for you to be. I've just been banging my desk around, pulling rips into the matrix over here. But yeah, you guys have no idea how much it helps the algorithm to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this, like get people to naturally find this video. Just whatever, like all of that, it helps tremendously. So thank you again. I love every single one of you. Have a good rest of the day. May the light of the Lord Jesus Christ shine on you and your families and your loved ones, and you go into the rest of the day feeling strong, feeling cool, calm, collected, and on task, and ready to continue to be on the journey of investing and acquiring assets. Because remember, there's going to be lots of attacks and things and doubts and people that are going to they're going to just say stuff and repeat stuff and be a parrot of stuff that they don't understand. And you need to know that you've been doing this you've been researching this stuff for the past 5 years. And you know where this is headed. That's where your mind needs to be, my friends. And with that being said, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you a really quick metric that I found fascinating. So 41% of the people that have been watching this channel and actually liking the channel and the content have not subscribed. 41% of you, but I will say 58% of you subscribed. Amazing. You guys are doing awesome. But I want to say that the people that are not subscribed yet, please, won't you consider subscribing to the channel and joining the Dojo crew, where we are educating ourselves. We're in the markets every single day. We're live streaming Monday through Friday, and we're also posting content on a daily basis that is keeping up with these cryptocurrency markets. And this is where the money is flowing right now, guys. So if you want to get these updates and you want to be ahead of the game, I suggest you start subscribing and dinging the bell to be notified whenever I go live and post content, because you do not want to miss it.